Thanks for becoming a Spyder Roadster owner, and welcome to this training video. Before you take the Spyder Roadster on the road, you need to develop riding skills and strategies for managing risk on the road. The 10 following exercises will familiarize you with the basic operation of the vehicle. If you have experience with motorcycles or other motor vehicles, pay particular attention to how the Spyder Roadster's operation and performance are different than vehicles you are used to. Practice each exercise until you can perform it proficiently before moving on to the next. First, you need to find a suitable paved area to practice and perform the following exercises. It should be at least 100 feet by 250 feet, or about 30 meters by 75 meters, that is not open to traffic. A closed, well-marked parking lot without obstacles, light poles, curbs, etc., is the best practice area. Once you've selected a suitable location, it's important to gain permission from the owner for you to practice. Typical 10-foot or about 3 meters wide parking lot spaces are shown in this diagram for convenience. Using your operator's guide in the training section, try to reproduce the training course using markers such as cones or milk containers weighted with water or sand. Even in a closed lot, be aware of potential traffic. Check to the front, sides, and rear before doing an exercise. Also, watch out for children and animals. Good posture helps you maneuver the vehicle more easily. Always keep both hands and both feet in position so that you can operate the controls easily. The wrist should typically be aligned straight with the arm. This position helps you apply the amount of throttle you want. Arms should be relaxed and bent. Keep your back straight and head and eyes up. Keep both feet on the pegs near the controls. First, you need to get used to the throttle response by revving up the engine a few times and use the engine stop switch. With the vehicle in neutral and the parking brake engaged, pull in and hold the clutch lever. Watch the tachometer and roll on the throttle. Twist it toward you a few times to raise the RPM to no more than 4,000. As long as the clutch is fully pulled in, the power will not transfer to the rear wheel. Use the engine stop switch to cut all power to the vehicle. Press the switch with your right thumb while keeping your hand on the hand grip. Practice pressing the switch without looking at it. The next exercise is to learn about the friction zone and engagement of the transmission using the clutch lever. For this exercise, do not use any throttle. Start the engine and release the parking brake. With the brake pedal depressed and the clutch lever pulled in, shift the transmission into first gear by firmly pushing down on the shift lever. Release the foot brake. Slowly let out the clutch lever until the vehicle starts to creep forward. Hold the clutch lever at this point and the vehicle will move forward. To stop, pull in the clutch lever and press on the brake pedal. Practice by turning around the course until you feel comfortable. If you have an SE5 transmission, shift the transmission into the first gear. Slowly apply the throttle, then release when the vehicle creeps forward. This exercise will help you to become familiar with using the engine stop switch when in motion, so you know how the vehicle will react if you need to use it later. Partway down the straightaway, while operating in the friction zone, turn the engine stop switch to off and coast to a stop. Repeat this exercise by turning around the course. Next step is to get more familiar with the use of the throttle in first gear. Learn how the vehicle reacts when accelerating slowly. This exercise is similar to the friction zone exercise, except this time you'll be using some throttle. You will also use the entire straightaway, stopping only at the ends. Start this exercise stopped in first gear at the beginning of a straightaway. With the clutch lever pulled in, gently roll on the throttle until the tachometer reads between 1,500 and 2,000 RPM. While holding the throttle at this position, slowly release the clutch lever until vehicle accelerates. As you approach the end of the straightaway, roll off the throttle, pull in the clutch lever, and apply brakes to come to a stop. Practice by turning around the course until you feel comfortable. Coordinate releasing the clutch lever and applying the throttle to start smoothly and to control your acceleration. The next exercise is similar to the last one, except that you will need to perform it while turning. It's important here to understand the reaction of the vehicle when you use the steering. The vehicle does not lean in a turn, so you may need to shift your body weight to the inside of the turn to keep a comfortable posture on the vehicle. As you approach the curve, slow down to no more than 5 miles per hour or about 8 kilometers per hour by pulling in the clutch lever and applying brake if necessary. Look in the direction of the curve and turn the handlebar in the same direction. Be careful not to roll on the throttle while turning. After the turn, straighten your handlebar and proceed down the straightaway. Perform this exercise around the course, turning right and left. The next step is very important because you also need to get used to your brake. Pressing on the brake pedal firmly while running will help you feel the braking force of your Spyder Roadster. Start at one end of the straightaway and accelerate to 5 miles per hour or about 8 kilometers per hour. Partway down the straightaway, brake quickly. Do not pump the brake because the ABS will prevent wheel lock. Repeat this exercise around the course, increasing your speed and braking harder. Practice checking your mirrors before braking hard. Now it's time to practice the weaves path with your vehicle. This is to practice the steering control and to maintain yourself on the vehicle. Weave between each cone, do not use throttle, stay in the friction zone. Lean into each turn and turn the handlebars in the direction you want to go by pulling and pushing the grips. Repeat this exercise, but this time weaving around 2 cones. You can gradually increase speed as you get comfortable to 10 to 12 miles per hour or about 16 to 19 kilometers per hour. Slow down for the U-turns at the ends. The next exercise is about shifting up and shifting down. Here you will learn about changing gears using the clutch lever, the gear shift lever, or the gear shift selector, and the throttle handle. Also get familiar with the use of the lower gears to decelerate your vehicle. This exercise is similar to what you did before, except now you'll be upshifting on the straightaway, then coming to a stop at the end of each straightaway. You may want to use the parking lot aisles for this exercise rather than riding in the spaces. First, while stopped and the clutch lever pulled in, practice the left foot motion for shifting between first and second gears. To confirm that you are in the gear you wanted to be, just look in the cluster for the gear number. In the straightaway, accelerate to 10 miles per hour or about 16 kilometers per hour in first gear. Roll off the throttle and pull in the clutch lever. Shift the transmission to the second gear and smoothly ease out the clutch. If the space allows, you can adjust the throttle to increase speed in second gear. As you approach the end of the straightaway, come to a stop by rolling off the throttle and pulling in the clutch lever when applying brake. After stopping, press the shift lever to engage the first gear again. Once you're more comfortable, downshift into first as you come to a stop. If space allows, you can practice downshifting into first while moving and try to shift into higher gear. Follow the same process and shift up or down 1 gear at a time. The next exercise is to swerve around an obstacle to get used to this quick maneuver. At this point, you will need to change your course. Set up your markers as shown in the diagram. Do not use any fixed or hard, heavy objects as markers for this exercise. Enter between the double cones at 5 miles per hour or about 8 kilometers per hour and maintain that speed throughout. Steer around the line of cones and exit through the second set of double cones. You can double your speed gradually and also check your mirrors and blind spot before you swerve. The last exercise of this training video is the use of the reverse. Begin at a stop in first gear and hold in the clutch lever. With your right hand, pull the reverse interlock lever towards you and hold it. Step down on the shift lever 1 stroke and release the interlock lever. Check that the letter R flashes in the cluster. Check that the area behind you is clear and continue to look backward while you ease out the clutch. Be careful not to strike anything with your front wheels as you back up. Slow and stop using clutch and brake, just like when operating normally. Back a few feet at a time, stopping in between. Keep your speed low and do not back up for long distances. After you are comfortable with reverse, back into a parking space as shown in the diagram. Finally, when you feel that you are in total control of your vehicle, you can try to park in a free space between two cars. To shift out of reverse, hold in the clutch and lift the shift lever up once to reach the first gear. You do not need to use the reverse interlock lever, it resets automatically. If you are planning to use a BRP trailer, we recommend performing these exercises carrying a loaded trailer before getting on the road. You will learn about the new behavior of your vehicle. Refer to your operator's guide to learn more about riding with a trailer. Once you have mastered basic riding skills, you can begin developing more advanced skills. First, learn the street strategies from your operator's guide. Then you can take the vehicle on the road in relatively low-risk situations. Start by riding in less challenging situations, short distances, good weather, low traffic, daytime, lower speeds, no passenger. You can gradually move on to more challenging riding situations as you develop your skills. More formal training is also a good idea, so we also recommend that you enroll in a class to hone your knowledge and skills even more. So that concludes our training exercise section. We hope that you will enjoy riding with your new Spyder Roadster on the road. Thanks for your time.